On Wednesday night, Donald Trump was at an event celebrating his company Truth Social going public. Incidentally, Truth Social has lost 27.75% of its value in the last 5 days, but that's not the point of this video. And he was welcoming influencers and investors at his Mar-a-Lago home. They stood around the pool and celebrated each other. And then Donald Trump started on some very weird speech where, once again, he brought up one of his favorite mob bosses of all time, Al Capone, and then falsely claimed that Alphonse Capone had more indictments than Donald Trump. I mean, this is probably the weirdest thing you can expect from the disgraced former president, the fact that he would find somebody as pitiful as Al Capone to compare himself to and then get the facts wrong about who had had more indictments.
And before I became well known as somebody that was indicted more than Alphonse Capone, the legendary Alphonse Capone, you know, Al Capone, if he took somebody to dinner and he didn't like them, he'd kill them. If somebody looked at him the wrong way, he would kill them. He once had a date, very lovely young lady, and the man next to him tried to pick her up. Guess what happened to him? It wasn't good. Scarface, they call him.
And for some reason, Trump seems to revel in the idea that Al Capone would just kill people because he didn't like the way they looked at him. I mean, this is not just weird and completely inappropriate for a former leader of the free world.
It was not good to go after Alphonse Capone's girlfriend. I'll teach that to these guys. You don't want to do that, but it was not a good situation.
This just goes to further prove Donald Trump's weird obsession with dictators and with criminals, but also his insecurity and the fact that he needs to, because of this malignant narcissism, elevate himself in some way. It also goes another way to confirm how much he looks up to the Mafia, to mob bosses. He's always seen himself and the Trump family, in my opinion, as a mob family. They use mob phrases all the time, the way they threaten people, the way they kind of give the impression that it's an eye for an eye and all that kind of stuff kind of comes straight out of the Italian mafiosa. I mean, he would like to be as honorable as a mafia family. I don't think he really comes close. And then he also said that it was good that his indictments made his poll numbers go up. So the more indictments he gets, the more popular he becomes, or at least that's what he was trying to project.
He got indicted less than I did, Alphonse. I got indicted 4 times. He only got indicted 2 times. Now, the good news is our poll numbers went through the roof. The bad news is I have to deal with these maniacs. They're maniacs.
This whole thing to watch is so very strange, but it's not an unfamiliar sequence for Donald Trump. He often defaults to talking about Al Capone. Maybe watches documentaries or, looks at picture books with big writing or something to try to educate himself. But, let's be clear, Capone was a gangster who oversaw multiple criminal operations and was declared public enemy number 1. I mean, why would you use this person as an example? It's very odd. Talking him up all the time, the great Al Capone, celebrating the fact that this guy was a danger to American society. It's concerning that the Republican nominee for president compares himself to an organized crime boss. And we need to think very carefully about what we are putting ourselves in danger of, because this is Trump before he's president. He has no power right now. But you don't want to give a guy like this power where his modus operandi will be retribution and going after people that have wronged him. That, I fear, will form a significant part of a future Trump presidency.
if somebody looked at him the wrong way, he would kill them.
I'm Anthony Davis. You can hear me every day on the 5-Minute News podcast. You can catch me co-hosting Uncovered every Wednesday and on Sundays on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.